against it. Okay, let's talk about Venezuela, and then we're done for the day. In Venezuela, I think we're being bamboozled. We're being bamboozled by this. All of the people we don't trust about anything. The New York Times, Hillary Clinton is Hillary. No, I don't have Hillary Clinton. Chrystia Freeland is like Canada's Hillary Clinton. Chrystia Freeland, all of these people that we do not trust are saying, the good guys are winning in Venezuela. And citizens are like, yeah, the good guys are winning. Now, let me say, if the situation is such that freedom is going to reign, then great. Then all of these people I've misjudged, and they're not globalist a-holes. They actually want freedom for people, et cetera, et cetera. I think they're globalist a-holes, and I think the play here is to take Venezuela's oil and give the people a version of communism like in China and like in Canada now. It's a weird version where if you don't object to the wholesale destruction of your culture, they'll let you eat and work for them, right? To the tune of $50,000 worth of taxes sent to them of your money, right? More than it costs for your shelter and your food for the year. That's the kind of deal that we're making, okay? You can live here and pay us a crap ton of money that you've earned to live here, and we'll kind of leave you alone so long as you don't speak up against all of the egregious disregard for your rights, your basic rights, right? As long as you do that, then we'll let you live here as long as you pay us a whole bunch of money every year. And I think that that's what they're trying to do. And they're going to try and pass that off as democracy. They're going to try and pass that off as whatever. I don't know if Maduro won or lost. I don't know if the person that they're trying to install is a new Guaido or a globalist puppet. I suspect, yes, they are. And they're going to try a different model. But I don't think that this is good. I don't think that this is like, yeah, we've got to get these people free from Maduro because this person, whoever the next person is way better. I think they're globalist communists and they've got a plan and they're rolling it out. And this is another soft check of, can we just completely steal an election in the South Americas with our software, et cetera, and like, can we overthrow somebody who we don't want in power anymore, Maduro, and put somebody that we do want in power in place? And if they can do it in Venezuela, yes, they can. Of course they can. They will. They're in process right now. We're watching it. They can do it in the United States. We watched it with Biden, and we'll watch it again in 2024, into 25. Unless Trump has some trick up his sleeve that I'm not seeing. And the longer the things go on, I mean, the fact that the only reason Trump is alive is because he turned his head, and Trump didn't have the wherewithal to be protected from a sniper, gives me pause. Makes me think that maybe he's not as ahead on all the things as everyone thinks. So I don't know, man. The whole thing is bonkers. But it seems like this Venezuela thing, we're being manipulated and people don't see it. They're like, yay! They've got their tunnel vision, right? Oh, Maduro's gone, so all the communists are gone. The communists just changed shape. They shapeshifted. They did. The general says breaking WikiLeaks confirms that the exit polling for the Venezuelan election was conducted by a firm backed by the CIA. WikiLeaks says Venezuela's right-wing opposition and the U.S. media outlets claim there was fraud in the July 28 election ballot based on an exit poll done by U.S. government linked firm Edison Research, which works with CIA-linked U.S. state propaganda organs and was active in Ukraine, Georgia, and Iraq. So, yeah. Yep, we're being manipulated, folks. Venezuelans tear down a statue of Hugo Chavez in protest of dictator Maduro, right? Who else do we know that tears down statues in order to get regime changes, right? Who else? I can think of a couple of people, Antifa, right? So they're doing the same thing. Now you could say, well, he's a terrible dictator. He's awful. Remember Saddam Hussein? He was a terrible dictator too, and they took down his statues right away too, right? Same damn lie. Same damn play. We're being played, okay? Here's Chrystia Freeland to tell you how the good guys are winning in Venezuela.
I do want to take a moment to really voice my support for the brave people of Venezuela, the brave democracy leaders of Venezuela. It takes
I'll tell you, that's the democracy leaders in Venezuela. That's rich coming from her. She froze people's bank accounts without charge or conviction. Oh, we love democracy, but I love freezing bank accounts more. Chrystia Freeland, are you kidding me? We champion democracy, except when that democracy shows up in trucks in Ottawa, in which case we freeze their bank accounts. Right? Like, come on. Does she think people are falling for this? Holy smoke. Are people falling for this?
It takes real courage to stand up for democracy in the face of an authoritarian regime.
Who freezes your bank
Millions
account?
of people in Venezuela have been doing that. And I want them to know that Canada recognizes their courage and determination. And Canada has been supporting the democratic opposition and condemning an increasingly severe authoritarian regime in Venezuela for many years now. I want the people of Venezuela, the Democrats of Venezuela, to know that Canada stands with them and recognizes that they are fighting hard for democracy and freedom, and they deserve it, just as all of us do.
Except for truckers who show up in Ottawa demanding bodily autonomy and not wanting to take a forced vaccination that doesn't actually even work. Right? Here's Blinken saying all the good guys are winning in Venezuela. Don't worry.
If my colleagues will indulge me for just 1 minute, I want to speak quickly to the elections that just took place in Venezuela. We applaud the Venezuelan people for their participation in the July 28th presidential election. We commend their courage and commitment to democracy in the face of repression and in the face of adversity. We've seen the announcement just a short while ago by the Venezuelan Electoral Commission. We have serious concerns that the result announced does not reflect the will or the votes of the Venezuelan people. It's critical that every vote be counted fairly and transparently, that election officials immediately share information with the opposition and independent observers without delay, and that the electoral authorities publish the detailed tabulation of votes. The international community is watching this very closely and will respond accordingly. Now,
like, rich again, coming from people who, in front of the whole world, stole an election for Joe Biden from Donald Trump. And they did it with a dump of documents, or a dump of fake, what was it? The document, the ballot dump that they did. Here's the graph, right? 3 o'clock in the morning, they stopped counting. They did a big ballot dump. Biden was on track to lose. Biden gets just ahead of Trump there, you see? And then another big ballot, another big dump of ballots again to make sure that Trump can't find more ballots to win. And so, like, these people, Chrystia Freeland, Blinken, these people are not on the side of democracy. These people are not on the side of the Venezuelan or Canadian people. They're on the side of the globalists. The globalists are going to steal the oil because maybe Maduro said no. Maybe Maduro said, I don't want to do that. So they're going to come in. They're going to get rid of him, just like they got rid of Saddam Hussein because Saddam Hussein said no. Just like they got rid of Gaddafi because Gaddafi said, we're going to use oil instead of the US dollar. We came, we saw, he died. Ha ha, says Hillary Clinton, right? So, like, Maduro did something that pissed these people off. That's it. Like, and they said, okay, we'll use democracy and, the rule of law to get you out of there. And he said, good luck. And like, and so Blinken and Chrystia Freeland and all of these people say democracy, democracy, democracy. And the people love it. And they say, yeah, we're going to get rid of those communists for other communists who are more powerful, globalist communists, right? Pierre Poilievre. Oh, what does Pierre have to say about this? Mirrors Chrystia Freeland, he does. Yesterday, Venezuelans voted to end socialist oppression, but dictator Maduro rigged the results to stay in power. Did he? Dictator Trump rigged the results to get into power. Trudeau should immediately refuse to recognize this sham election and support Venezuelan people's struggle for freedom and democracy. Democracy is tyranny of the majority, right? It should be a republic. It should not be, rights shouldn't be negotiable for a democratic removal, right? If all 9 of us decide that you should work for us, right? All of your labor comes to all 9 of us. That's a majority, democratically decided. Cool? No, obviously not, right? But that's what these people with their false idol of democracy are selling, and it's bullshit. Excuse my French. Here is Malai. He looks like, what's her name? He looks like an Alberta politician who is mostly a woman. What's her name? Janice? Is it Janice? Right? Right there. Like, as soon as I clicked over, I was like, is that Janice Irwin? Is it Janice Irwin? Is that what her name is? Janice Irwin. I mean, Malai. He says, because he's really good too. He went to Israel and he put his hand on the Wailing Wall, didn't he? Right? I mean, he is a person who listens to the global communists, doesn't he? He says, dictator Maduro has committed elector fraud. He has awakened the Venezuelan lions, and sooner or later, socialism is going to end. Socialism is always murder. Courage, dear Venezuelans. I think it's a trick. Like, if they're honest, if they're saying, let's replace this socialist, communist dictatorship with a capitalist society that is a free market driven, I am fully on board. Don't misunderstand me. Like, I hope that you're not misunderstanding, but I think these people are liars. I think they're just liars, and they're going to create a situation where people are like, we thought we were voting for this, what we were actually voting for was this, and now we're really sad about it, but we can't vote our way out of it because new dictatorship. Because if we say anything, we're going to be thrown in the gulag, right? So, interesting. Interesting indeed. All of these people saying, Venezuela, you're rising. Great job, right? Liz Church says, another election stolen. Maduro's regime has placed orders for the National Electoral Council to threaten imprisonment for 6 to 15 years for anyone protesting and rejecting the fraudulent Venezuelan election results. I don't think he's the good guy. I don't think there's any good guy on any side here. Okay? We're being manipulated. And the people, like, between two bad choices, it seems like the globalist option right now is the better choice than the Maduro option. But at the same time, there should be a third option. We're going to say no to both of you, and we're going to do our own thing. And this guy right here that we just decided, because he was standing here, he's the new prime minister. So, prime minister, what do you want to do? And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think any of the truckers would have been a better prime minister than Pierre Poilievre, than anybody that we've got. I think that we should replace wholesale the government with a group of people who are randomly drawn, and then that government should be in place for one purpose only, two purposes: arrest the traitors and restore governance to the people. That's it. That's it. And probably stop the gravy train of foreign aid, et cetera, rebalance the budget and stop foreign aid. That's it. That's it. And it should be done by random selection. It shouldn't be done by me or you or anybody like that. It should be a group of Canadians are sent to restore what? The promise, the agreement between the governed and the government, because it's been betrayed at every level, on every level, by every federal, municipal, provincial government, and not just here in Canada, but across the West, unfortunately. Melissa says, oh crud, looks like the army in Venezuela is now greeting the protesters instead of going on the defensive. Right. Maybe it's good. Venezuela is in turmoil and it's about to get very dangerous. How long until this is Canada? How long until this is the United States? Yes, good question. And George says, breaking, the Attorney General of Venezuela has been directed by Socialist President Maduro to begin criminal prosecution of his political opponents. The AG claimed that the opposition leader Maria Corina Machado and Leopoldo Lopez tried to hack the election. At the press conference, the Attorney General Tariq William Saab said that the attack occurred from North Macedonia and that it had the intention of manipulating the votes. Fortunately, this action was avoided, but they managed to pause the reading of the final bulletin. They wanted to adulterate the minutes themselves. In case you can't read between the lines, he's saying the reason the regime delayed releasing the election results was actually because they were fighting off hackers. They're going to use this as justification to jail all their opponents. Right. And like, I don't think that there's going to be much difference between what's happening now in Venezuela and the 2024 presidential election in the United States. It is fraught. It is not obvious that people are willing to hand over their power once they have their power. And, well, this is Barack Obama's, third term, fourth term, whatever it is. And he's third term. And he's continuing to, through proxies, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, et cetera, run the policies of the globalist communists. And Americans are noticing. The West is noticing. And all that remains to be seen is, will we be able to derail it? Or will we be bamboozled? And so, like, if you're offered two options and you say, I reject both of your options, F you, we're going to war, and what we want to do is this, that's better than saying, well, I'll take the lesser of these two evils. I know it's a trick. I know it's a trap. I know that what you're going to do is actually institute global communism. But right now, short term, you guys are the better choice. Let's go with you instead of Maduro. You're playing into their hand then. We should reject it. They should reject it. We should reject it. We should demand better. I think we're being lied to, and that's that. That's enough of me. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your support. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Somebody asked me if I was going to be at the Terror Tour tomorrow. I don't know. It's there's family things going on, and like I wasn't sure because of the timing of it if I was going to be able to make it, and so I hadn't bought a ticket or anything like that. But I'm kind of trying to see what's going on. So for now it's a no. If that changes, I'll let you know. But probably not. Don't hold your breath. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your support. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.